This is where the second story started. University of Liverpool, I was an industrial design engineer. I was also an Arab, so when people saw me passionate about doing an ice skating to everybody is familiar as two types: figure skater, hockey skater. I was in the middle. You could call it street football, street basketball. To us, it was freestyle ice skating. It's where you can either be a hockey player or a figure player, and you just want to get lost into something. So to us, freestyle is where we get lost into it. So during my time, and like after I started going with my university to Silver Blades witness the rink I found out about. At that point, I started recording more videos, doing more social media posts. That was during 2016, 2015. That's when I started like trying to do something more. In 2017, I can't remember to be honest, or 2016, I got scouted by BBC. One of BBC journalists contacted me on my Insta. She saw my videos, she saw my account. Her name was Freya. I could never thank her enough. I could honestly do a whole video about thanking her, because she gave me the first personal achievement, something I'm actually really proud of. She gave me the first interview with the BBC news channel, BBC Sports, about the Ice King from the Arab countries. So to me, that was like, after that exact interview, all kinds of news channels started contacting me. I'm talking about العربي, I'm talking about Kuwait News, CNN, China News, literally Nigerian News, Kuwait News, all countries. From everywhere, people just started writing about my story. At that point, I decided to do more. During my time, like just before Freya, I was working on something, but that something to me was still something in the works, and I wasn't so sure of it because I was so far away from home. After that interview and the other interviews with the other news channels, I decided it was time to continue doing my dream, which was build a team, not just any team. Build something everybody can relate to. You don't have to be just an ice skater. You could be whatever you want to be, as long as you're a skater. So I thought really hard about how could I name it? How could I make it? What would it be? At that point, I decided to do Skate Army, which was grab all kinds of skaters from all sorts of the world into one team. It didn't matter where you're from. It didn't matter if you were alone or with a bunch of people. What mattered to us is that you skated and you could find a family. And it grew really fast, tremendously. We're talking about, I've had people speaking with me from Malaysia, from USA, from Morocco, from Egypt, from Saudi also, all different cities of Saudi, from Qatar, UAE, Oman, Bahrain. I've had people from all sorts of the world contacting me for it. So to me, that was like, okay, this could actually work. Unfortunately, I was young. I wasn't old enough to understand what I was doing. Starting a business, but you're not there to work on your business, will never succeed. My biggest challenge was when I built Skate Army, I was actually in UK studying. The main focus for me was always on back in Saudi Arabia. Like I've had a team, not a team, I've had a bunch of people I was performing with in UK, but they had their own team. But I was playing with them under my own team named Skate Army. I had a bunch of people in the US, a bunch of people everywhere. But I wasn't focusing on them, honestly. My main focus was on the place I'm actually going back to, which was Saudi Arabia. So over there, I've had a team, and let's say my biggest team was in Jeddah. We were always doing shows and we were always performing. All sorts of people that actually stopped skating at one point in time, from the old people with me, and new people that wanted to become something more. My biggest challenge is I was not there for it all. So I was able to secure them many kinds of things. But when you're not there to control your passion, no one will deal with it the same way you will always deal with it. That's what unfortunately happened. Skate Army rose to one point where it could have become everything, but due to misunderstandings in the management that I am not there to manage myself, the team fell. It fell apart. So people started looking at me in a bad way, thinking it was all my decisions. I stopped Skate Army and I decided to shut off the team. But it was really hard for me because I worked really, really hard to create this team. Like I said, at one point things fell apart. It started hurting a lot. Once I finished my studies in the UK, after I stopped Skate Army, it was almost 2018, 2019. At that certain time, I decided to focus on myself. As in, this is my final university year. So I'll still do what I love to do on social media, but I need to focus more on my studies. At that point, it's graduation time. I just finished my studies in the UK. I left my thumbprint. I've met so many amazing people, especially in the Liverpool Ice Christmas Festival. That's a story for another time. These people gave me something to never forget. There are several stories I could tell you forever about UK, but I promise you that will be on another time.